I'm 7 months pregnant with my first child. My baby is also the first grandchild slash nephew of my husband's family, which everyone is excited about. I lost my mother and father to the pandemic, being an only child, so there is not much of my family. Since the death of my parents 1 year ago, my husband's family has welcomed me with open arms as part of them, and I have become very close to my mother and sister in law. I always wanted to have a gender reveal, and I trusted my sister in law to organize everything about this. With 3 days to go before the party, I started to receive messages from all of my husband's relatives and even close friends congratulating me on my baby being a boy. I went to ask what happened, and my sister in law confessed that she let it slip to my mother in law, and she told everyone the sex of the baby after knowing. Because she couldn't hold it and it took proportions beyond what they imagined. Nobody called me to tell me this. The party was cancelled and I was heartbroken, as well as extremely hurt by the two of them. Usually they accompanied me to the ultrasound shopping for the baby room, and my mother-in-law would stay at the time of delivery. But after this breach of trust, I stopped inviting them and asked them to respect my boundaries when they pressured me to go. Honestly, I didn't even send them the baby shower invite because I really avoided contact with them as much as possible, because everyone knew before me that it was a boy. My husband started complaining that I was pushing them away because of a mistake that could happen, and that I was being harsh. Yesterday he brought up this, and when I said that I still didn't feel comfortable with them, he said, "Soon you'll tell me that my mother won't be able to go to the birth." I think my face showed my response, and he started saying I was being too hard on her because she was so excited and blah blah blah. I had my limits and said, "If you keep pushing me, it won't just be your mother who won't be in my labor, so either stop or you won't come in." He started to say that I was crossing lines and that he had a right to have this moment, and I was taking this with him too far. He slept on the couch and didn't talk to me more than necessary. Am I in the wrong? Well, many are saying that it's just a gender reveal. I honestly don't care for that, and I think it's tacky. But my mom was the type who liked slash love it, and she always dreamed of having grandchildren. She said she was made to be a grandmother. She can't meet my son or even know I'm pregnant. So I wanted to do something tacky that I don't care for her. Not for me. Everyone knew the importance and the reason. I always wanted to have a gender reveal with my mom there, and I didn't have either. And now for some comments. Quote, "My husband started complaining that I was pushing them away because of a mistake that could happen and that I was being harsh." This wasn't a mistake. This was a choice. Your sister-in-law made a choice and told your mother-in-law. Your mother-in-law then made a choice to tell everyone else in the family. Your husband is making the choice to pressure you into things, which is leaving you to make some choices of your own now. You are allowed to make your own choices. The person going through the procedure has a choice of who gets to be in there. Birthing a child is not an all-access pass for everybody else who wants to be in there. It's not a spectator sport. It's a medical procedure to get a little human out of another human. Definitely not in a wrong. Your sister-in-law slipping could have been an honest mistake. Your mother-in-law spreading it around was a concise choice. You may be going a little too far with your sister-in-law. Again, possible accident. But your mother-in-law made her choice and now is dealing with the consequences. As simple as that. You're not in the wrong. Your husband is a huge jerk for thinking mommy's excitement is a higher priority than the woman who is actually pregnant. It sounds like your husband is using you as a surrogate to give mommy and sissy a new toy. No way should his mother be at the birth. It is a medical procedure, and the only priority is keeping you and the baby safe and healthy. It is not a dinner theater where your husband is entitled to sell tickets to the show. We got one last really nice warm day, And I said I would take my son and his friends to the pool this morning. When he was texting everyone, he told me one of his friends had a cousin over and asked if we would be able to take her as well. I asked how old the cousin is and if she knows how to swim. He said 10 and yes. So I said of course. We get to the house and I meet this cousin, and she is blind. Right away I felt nervous. I was going to have 6 kids with me and no other adult. I've been always a little neurotic about water safety. My son is a great swimmer, and so are his friends, but I've never met this girl before, and I don't know if she's a strong swimmer. I was worried that I would be constantly watching her the whole time. That would mean I wasn't paying enough attention to the other kids. I decided to take the kids to the park instead. The kids complained, but I said there was a problem at the pool, and they got over it. 8-year-olds have short attention spans. The cousin is getting along with the boys even though she's a couple years older. I did text all the parents to let them know where we are for safety. The aunt of the little girl just texted me back asking me what happened to the pool plan. I texted back that I decided on the park instead. She asked why, and I said 6 kids at the pool is a lot, and the park is less stressful. She asked if I didn't take them to the pool because her niece is blind. I said 6 kids and water with one adult is just a lot. She said I was fine with 5. And it seems obvious, I just didn't want to watch a blind child in water. I responded that even if that's true, which, yeah, it is, I just didn't want to admit it. Would that be really so bad? If I'm not comfortable in my ability to keep the kids safe in water, I shouldn't supervise them in water. She said if I can't keep kids safe in water, I'm a bad mom, and that I was being a witch to a 10-year-old. I like this girl. She is so sweet. But I get anxious about water safety. Am I being a witch? Should I take them to the pool? And now for some comments. Not in the wrong. One adult with 6 kids, one of whom is blind, seems like a recipe for disaster. I feel stressed just imagining it. By the way, acting like a child who is blind and being placed in unfamiliar environment is a non-issue is just stupid. Not in the wrong at all. You went above and beyond by changing the plan altogether. It's not even that you outright refused to take the girl. You didn't even say something about it to the children. In my opinion, this is a very mature move. Not in the wrong at all. You're not in the wrong. You're not comfortable taking all of them, including the girl, to the pool. That is reason enough. The aunt shouldn't be pressing you on this. In fact, she should know that of course it takes more to watch a blind kid than a non-blind one when you're not used to doing it and don't know the kids. I teach a math class in 8th grade. Because the classroom is really small and there are many people, they sometimes are a bit loud. But that's okay, and I try to give my best to accommodate them to be most comfortable. Wednesday they were really loud and I announced an online quiz because we did not come to the point to do it in class. I also stated that I would upload it on Thursday and it would be due Friday at 6 p.m. It is not much, 10 questions, just to see where everyone is at. But it's graded. I repeated myself twice that it was mandatory and graded and they did not listen apparently. I uploaded the quiz and 4 people actually took it. They received feedback and their grade. The rest did not take the quiz, so I gave them all a 0 today. In less than 15 minutes, the first student mailed me that I could not just fail him. A few students joined in complaining about the 0. Some of them apologized for not turning it in. Then a mother emailed me how I could fail her precious daughter, and that if 27 people failed, it would mean my quiz was too hard and I would be a jerk to fail them all. Until now I did not respond to any of these mails because then they would expect me to answer everybody. I will do this on Monday. But I wonder, am I the jerk for failing them? Some information. This would maybe make 1% of their grade. Edit because I realized I need to clarify something. They were loud the entire period. Normally, this is not the case. I don't know what was different this day, and this caused us to be slower than I planned in not being able to test where everybody stood on the topic. So, at the end of the lesson, I told them that this quiz was being uploaded and they have to take it. They were not especially loud then, but some were distracted with packing their things and stuff. Edit too because someone said it was important. It was written on the boards. It was written in the class book. There is all stuff written down in means of tasks and topics from their classes. And now for some comments. Teacher here. Let the zero stand, or you're teaching them that refusing to work and then complaining about it is acceptable. Give them an in-class assignment that is 1. Basically the same thing, and 2. Worse enough points that it brings up their averages. You could even give them the exact same thing, and the kids who did it the first time get a double benefit since they already got the points and the feedback. Not in the wrong. They are in school to learn more than math. This is a teachable moment. You're not in the wrong. Verbal instruction and 2 forms of written instruction were given. Beyond that, the responsibility is on the students to do the work. This is a good learning experience for them. Their grade is dependent on them. This is a good foundation to build your life. Not in the wrong. Professor here. Please let the zero stand. Otherwise, they learn that they can bully their way through a class. If it was on the board, you announced it, and several students completed the quiz. They had sufficient notice. An update to the story. I just got another email from the same mother asking why I did not reply to her email since she wrote the first email a few hours ago. I love parents. Edit. Because I cannot answer every single comment. Thank you all for your judgments. While there were many helpful and respectful comments with constructive feedback, I'm really shocked that people insult me as a person for an action I post here. I do not talk about you're in the wrong judgments. I take them all. I talk about the ones telling me that I'm a horrid person, a bad teacher, or even insinuating that I am mentally sick, via comments and via private messages. Maybe think before insulting someone for one single action, without knowing what else happens in my classes and life. Now to the quiz. They know how to do it. They did it often before. They won't fail the whole class because of it. Also, I'm not responsible for telling their parents to remind them of a quiz. They are old enough to remind themselves. Many suggested that they could retake the test. They can, but not for full credit and not in class. I will tell them on Monday, and it will be due Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. Also online. As it's a simple 10-question multiple choice test you can do in 10 minutes on your phone. That is more than enough time. Also an update on the mother mailing me twice. I got an email from her daughter telling me how sorry she was that her mom messaged me as she panicked as her mom saw the zero and told her the quiz was too hard because she forgot about the quiz and therefore did not take it.